1 minute for the last few folks. Okay. Good afternoon. We have a quorum of members present this afternoon, and the New York City Board of Correction, May 16th, 2023 meeting is now in session. Our first order of business is to vote on the draft minutes for the March 14th, 2023 board meeting, which board members have received. Will a board member move for a vote to approve the March 14th, 2023 meeting minutes?
Moved.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, second by Mr. Ramos. Does any member have edits or comments on the minutes? Is that Mr. Ramos and then Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
Please.
No comment.
Okay. If there's no edits or comments on the minutes, I'll ask for all in favor of approving the March 14th, 2023 minutes. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Hearing no objection.
Chair, is it possible to decrease the noise in this room? It is very, very loud, and it's difficult to hear.
Is it possible we may have to turn off the fan in the back of the room? Okay, is that better, Board Member Cohen? Yes. Excuse me, I think the fan kicked up a little bit of dust in the back. So I'd just like to make some remarks of the formation of Women in Jails Committee and reconfiguration of the Jail Death Review Committee. As many of you, as many are aware, committees represent the Board of Corrections' priorities and provide a platform for collaborative governance, stakeholder engagement, capacity building, and accountability. By providing a forum for collaboration and dialogue, committees help ensure the board's work is well-informed, evidence-based, and responsive to the needs and priorities of people living and working in the jails. To this end, I have two committee-related announcements that will continue the board on the path of transformation and growth as we strive to achieve our charter mandate. First, I am pleased to announce the formation of the Women in Jails Committee. This standing committee is charged with conducting comprehensive examinations of the state of women living and working in city jails, producing periodic reports of its findings, and recommended gender-specific correctional policies and programs to improve outcomes for people in custody and staff. To achieve this goal, I have appointed board members Dr. Rachel Bedard, Ms. Deanna Hoskins, and Ms. Jacqueline Pitts to the Women in the Jails Committee. I thank the board member Pitts for her service as committee chair. Excuse me. committee is a mandate because it's established to examine factors that contribute to jail deaths and to provide thoughtful recommendations to prevent future recurrences. Our success in this area hinges on bringing new viewpoints, ideas, and approaches to the table to ensure that we keep pace with the ever-evolving circumstances and systemic issues that result in jail deaths. Therefore, I have appointed board members Dr. Rachel Bedard and Ms. Jacqueline Pitts to join Mr. Ramos on the Jail Death Review Committee. I thank Board Member Ramos for his service as committee chair. So thank you.
Chair, could you explain to me why you removed me from the Death Committee? Were you not pleased with my service or Jackie's? I thought we were doing a very good job, and I would like to still be on the committee.
Well, I think as I made a notation in my statement that we were looking for new and different views. It has nothing to do with your service, that the board configuration was changed.
I don't understand what you mean by new. Is there something wrong with what the Death Committee is? Something different that you want?
Well,
because it's new rather than old?
That is a done decision. If there was concern about that movement, this action was taken over a month ago.
Well, you didn't tell me about it.
Okay,
You
so
just did it.
so therefore we're going
This is the first time I had a chance to talk to you about it.
My phone is always on. So therefore, we will move forward with the agenda at this time.
Good afternoon, everyone. On today's agenda, we have updates from the department on its recruitment and training efforts, and updates from CHS on its simulation center. And I'll start with these updates on deaths since our last meeting. The board expresses condolences for deaths of department staff since our last meeting in March. They are Associate Correctional Counselor Tanya Rapley, Retired Officer Kyle Rames, Retired Officer Kathy Jean Roberts, Retired Officer Robert M. Waldorf, Retired Officer Maurice A. Ziegler, Retired Officer Philip Fantasia, Retired Officer Darren Brent Grant, Retired Officer Frank Aquiles Squilante, Retired Officer William C. Reba, Retired Executive Director of Program Operations Linda Eady, Retired Officer Peggy Archer, Retired Warden Leroy Duncan, and Retired Assistant Deputy Warden Louise Matthews. And we want to share our deepest condolences with the families of these deceased officers and retirees. And now I'll give a census update. As of May 15, 2023, the total census of people in custody is 6,049. And for comparison, the average monthly census for March of 2023 was 5,912, and for April it was 5,942. And I'll break that down, the census down by facility. As of May 15, 2023, AMKC was 1,892, Bellevue had 50, EMTC 937, GRVC 843, NIC 178, and separately in the NIC infirmary was 99, RMSC 360, RNDC 909, VCBC 707, and West Facility 74. And finally, I'll make an announcement about the board's reports. On April 12, 2023, the board released its report presenting findings and recommendations in connection with its investigation concerning the deaths of 7 individuals in Department of Correction custody in 2022. Of the 7 investigations covered in this report, 3 individuals died by suicide, 1 from acute fentanyl intoxication, one from complications of drowning, and one is still pending further study by the Office of Chief Medical Examiner, OCME. Since the report was published, OCME determined Robert Pondexter's cause of death was pulmonary thromboembolism due to deep vein thrombosis of lower extremities of undetermined etiology. Some of the board's recommendations to DOC and CHS in the report include ensuring that uniformed staff relay all relevant information to clinic medical staff when calling in a medical emergency, improving information sharing to DOC and CHS documents are consistent regarding the number of medical appointments people in custody miss, increasing the number of available PACE beds, ensuring that PACE units are staffed with nursing and mental health professionals as required, ensuring that uniformed staff tour and record logbook entries in accordance with DOC policy, and increasing the number of suicide prevention aids available and prioritizing staff assignments to posts that require direct contact with people in custody. And for the list of full recommendations, you can view BOC's website and see the report on the website. BOC's Death Review Committee is also investigating the death of Mr. Marvin Pines, the first and only death in custody as of today in 2023. And lastly, the board's second serious injury report is in the final stages and will be published soon.
Thank you, Interim Executive Director. I'm just going to make a brief announcement for those who are online. The internet service provider that we use is experiencing intermittent technical issues, which may result in an inconsistent video feed for those members of the public watching via WebEx or YouTube. The board is exploring alternative options. We apologize for any inconvenience that this may cause. Now, at this point, we will go on with our agenda to the DOC, Department of Correction Commissioner updates. And we'll turn to DOC for updates on recruitment and training.
It's on?
Good afternoon, members of the board. First and foremost, thank you for acknowledging the members and retired members of service who we've lost since our last meeting. I echo the board's sentiments, and the department offers our condolences to the family members of those who have passed. I want to use my time this afternoon to bring you up to date on several recent developments at the Department of Correction. First, the department continues to onboard outsiders with broad experience to help manage our facilities and oversee critical aspects of our operations. 3 assistant commissioners, Daniel Davis, Ned McCormick, and Charles Williams, have been enlisted to run respectively RMSC, VCBC, and OBCC when it opens this summer. All have more than 20 years of correctional experience. They will be joined by 2 other newcomers in the coming months. At the same time, we recognize that there is extraordinary talent in our ranks. Sonia Harvey and Antoinette Court have been named as assistant commissioners to run EMTC and GRVC, 2 of our most challenging facilities. Last month, Dr. Neeta Gupta joined us as chief surgeon in the Health Management Division. She has doctoral degrees in pharmacy and medicine, as well as a Master of Public Policy degree from Rutgers University, the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey, and Princeton University, respectively. She oversees employee health services and will play a vital role in reevaluating our policies and ensuring that our staff receive optimal care. We have also onboarded Frank Dwyer, who oversees our Public Information Division, which handles external and internal communications. Derek Mabane, Assistant Commissioner of Security Operations, and Kevin Osborne, who now leads the Care Unit and will be responsible for designing and implementing programs related to staff wellness. Second, we have revamped our visit policy to allow in-person visits on weekends, and we removed the pre-registration requirement for in-person visits. Last week, full week of in-person visits, we welcomed over 1,200 visitors. Importantly, this past Sunday, Mother's Day, there were close to 400 visitors. Third, we continue to make significant strides in violence reduction. Comparing April 2022 to April 2023, slashings and stabbings are down 50%. April was the 6th straight month of decreases year over year. Fiscal year to date, assaults on staff have decreased over 40%.
Excuse me. I apologize for the interruption. We, for legal reasons for the proceeding, since the video has stopped, we have to stop the meeting at this time and resume. So I apologize for the technical difficulties. So if you can just bear with me one moment. And then when you return as well, if you can also give us your name and title for the record as well. Okay, thank you. Okay, my apologies once again for the technical difficulties. We are making arrangements to have a more secure technical feed, and hopefully that will be in place by our next meeting. But I'd like to ask the Department of Correction to resume their update.
Has it been resolved, or is everybody having access to the meeting now?
It has been resolved. My understanding, that's why we're resuming at this point.
Good afternoon. My name is Linnell McGinley-Liddy, First Deputy Commissioner at the New York City Department of Correction. Members of the board, first and foremost, thank you for acknowledging the members and retired members of service who we've lost since our last meeting. I echo the board's sentiments, and the department offers our condolences to the family members of those who have passed. I want to use my time this afternoon to bring you up to date on several recent developments at the Department of Correction. First, the department continues to onboard outsiders with broad experience to help manage our facilities and oversee critical aspects of our operations. 3 assistant commissioners, Daniel Davis, Ned McCormick, and Charles Williams, have been enlisted to run respectively RMSC, VCBC, and OBCC when it opens this summer. All have more than 20 years of correctional experience. They will be joined by 2 other newcomers in the coming months. At the same time, we recognize that there is extraordinary talent in our ranks. Sonia Harvey and Antoinette Court have been named as assistant commissioners to run EMTC and GRVC, 2 of our most challenging facilities. Last month, Dr. Anita Gupta joined us as chief surgeon in the Health Management Division. She has doctoral degrees in pharmacy and medicine, as well as a Master of Public Policy degree from Rutgers University, the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey, and Princeton University, respectively. She oversees employees' health services and plays a vital role in reevaluating our policies and ensuring that our staff receive optimal care. We have also onboarded Frank Dwyer, who oversees our Public Information Division, which handles external and internal communications. Derek Mabane, Assistant Commissioner of Security Operations, and Kevin Osborne, who now leads the Care Unit and will be responsible for designing and implementing programs related to staff wellness. Second, we have revamped our visit policy to allow in-person visits on weekends, and we removed the pre-registration requirement for in-person visits. Last full week of in-person visits, we welcomed over 1,200 visitors. Importantly, this past Sunday, which was Mother's Day, there were close to 400 visitors. Third, we continue to make significant strides in violence reduction. Comparing April 2022 to April 2023, and staffing are down 50%. April for over a year. Committed to sustaining those positive results going forward. Fourth, absenteeism is down 70% since January 2022. Over the past year, the daily average number of staff out sick has decreased 52% from an average of 1,255 in April of 2022 to 595 in April 2023. The narrative that large numbers of correction officers don't show up to work is a false one. Fifth, we're making strides in preventing contraband drugs, especially fentanyl, from entering our facilities. Our canines have been trained to detect fentanyl, and we have increased tactical search operations. Just as importantly, 4,841 members of service, which is 78% of the department, have been trained in the use of Narcan. and we're working to distribute Narcan to all officers in our facilities.
My apologies once again, First Deputy Commissioner. The feed has stopped again. I've instructed staff, unfortunately, effectively. So my, deep apologies for interrupting your presentation.
Okay.
They're still working on it now, but by meetings law, we have to stop. Mr.
Chair, so the meeting ended? Okay.
It appears that we are making progress, but if the progress is not significant in the next 5 minutes, this meeting will be adjourned.
No, somehow. No. Oh. We might have to unplug.
Huh?
The hard drive is stopping the heat up.
The hard drive is stopping you there?
That's it.
What do you mean the hard drive is stopping you there?
So, yeah, this is too powerful.
Motion to adjourn? Uh, I'm required to ask for a motion to adjourn.
I think we should wait.
Okay,
Mr. Pratt's here, and I think we should wait and allow. I know we all have places to be, but
get Steve on the phone for me, please.
it's,
Well,
the public.
Yeah, the department doesn't.
is there no motion to adjourn? I'll ask again.
You don't see that?
Uh,
You could have said something. There's no motion to adjourn, right?
I have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
We voted against it. The public is here, and we're ready to have a meeting for our community that are the town. Your representation is black and brown people. You don't see strong enough correction. Do your job as leader of this board. CHS.
I'm going to ask that you be in order, or I'm going to have to remove you from the room because we are still in session. I'm going to ask that you please have a seat and maintain order, or I will have to have you removed.
Test, test. Mike, can you hear me?
Have a motion that has not been seconded. For we are still pending technical difficulties before we can proceed. At this time, we are unable to proceed. If this feed is not operational, I did move to adjourn the meeting because people have other appointments that they must attend. Okay. I'm going to ask you to please leave the room. Security, could you please escort this person out of the room? Please escort out of the room, please. Thank you, officer. The threat Okay, okay, so I'm gonna really ask you to leave this room right now. Officer, please escort her from this room. Okay? Please remove her from the room. Please remove her from the room. Officer, please remove her from the room.
Guys,
Right now, either right now.
okay.
Are you making a motion? Are you making a motion? Somebody.
Chair.
It is 2:05 PM. We are still live, but we are waiting for a security issue to be resolved before we resume this meeting.
Chair, can I call for an executive session just to talk about the next, a motion for an executive session so we can talk about the next meeting, technical difficulties and some other legal matters?
not until the security issue is resolved.
But I'm making a motion. Anyone
It's a point of order. It's a point of order. This matter has to be resolved, and then you can now hear your motion.
Okay. But if we go into executive session, it's only us.
Yeah.
So I would like to have a motion to talk about us, executive session, about technical challenges, legal matters, and what happened.
There's an agenda at hand.
I think today has plenty of agenda items for us to discuss as a board.
We will,
I second the motion to go into executive session.
Other question?
I did not hear the first motion. We have a security issue as a point of order. That motion has not been heard.
It will self-regulate your issue going to executive session. It will self-regulate. It will self-regulate your security.
She will go
Yes,
home.
it will self-regulate.
But
I want to go.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna ask you to please leave the room. Again, officer, could you please remove her from the room?
I think they will go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have
Felipe, say it again. Make them up.
Share.
Can you come back up here?
Miss B. Miss B.
Miss V. Miss V, can I ask you to just,
Miss-
Dr.
Dr.
V,
V.
I'm sorry. Can you hold for 1 second?
I'm trying to call for an executive session to
Just
discuss.
make a motion.
I want to make a motion to go to executive session. Chair.
And as I indicated, until the security matter is
It
indicated.
doesn't need to be
resolved.
rectified
Well,
for this board to make a motion of an action. So we need to understand the operations of a board. If a motion is made that is second, that is voted on, this board can move forward with that. That situation does not threaten the business of this board with the motion that was just moved. So there again, Felipe, can you make your motion?
I want to make a motion for an executive session to meet among us to discuss technical challenges, the next meeting, and legal matters.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
That motion
Aye.
has not, that motion
We
has
can
not been
move-
heard.
We don't need your permission. As a chair, you're just a chair of the board. The board majority vote.
And I respect the majority. of-
But so you don't have control over the majority vote of the board.
I
You need
still-
to understand the position of a chair.
Okay, so you, do you want an explanation? Do you want an explanation?
There isn't
Do you, it is an explanation. You cannot move forward if there's a security issue at hand and there's disorder.
They all get to go.
Understand strategy and history.
I'm ruling that out of order until this lady is removed from the room or leaves the room.
They will all leave. They all have to leave.
It doesn't matter. It's not.
She will. She will.
I need to say this. We're gonna have, we have to clear the auditorium.
Yes. We are,
I'm just, you must leave the room because you've been disruptive on a number of occasions, and I've asked you numerous times to contain, we have public comments. Will you please leave the room so that we can carry on business? Can you please leave the room so we can carry on business? Miss, we can proceed once you leave this room.
thank you.
So, Dr. D, I'm going to ask you one more time. Dr. V, Dr. V, I'm going to, I'm going to ask you one more time. Will you, I did ask you. I asked you remember time. Dr. V, will you let us control? Okay. Chaplain Dr. V. Okay. Want to show, you got your show, but you're out of order and I will maintain you out of order and you're disrupting this meeting from continuing. Okay.
Please. We have the votes. I mean,
You want us to motion again, Dr. V?
Yeah.
Will you do it again?
Chair Sampson, can I propose a motion to meet as an executive session to discuss technical challenges today, legal and personnel issues of the board?
Seconded.
And again, and, ag- and again, I'm going to state this for the final time. You cannot disrupt the board's work. It's okay to participate in the fashion that's necessary, that's provided, but you cannot continuously disrupt the board's work. That will not, that will not be tolerated. That we give, the board gives ample opportunity to hear testimony in writing and verbally. We give ample opportunity to hear concerns. We will not tolerate disruptions in the board. And it's, okay. And I'm speaking for the chair as the chair of this board and point of order. Okay, and if there's no order, the meeting cannot continue. That's the fact. And, and I wanted to entertain the person that was disrupting the meeting. Oh, no, this is, you see when you say we already established? We already established. Okay, okay, okay. Now, I'll ask again. And I apologize that if I didn't get your name totally right. I did not do it on purpose, but I apologize if I did not get your name right. But I'm just asking you if you can maintain order during the meeting. Okay. First of all, I'm not mad. I don't get mad at conversation. I don't get mad. And that's the facts. But I do want to maintain order in the meetings. And I ask that you do that. Okay. So we're set. We're good. Okay.
Motion again?
Chair Sampson, I would like to propose a motion for an executive session to discuss technical challenges, legal matters, and personnel matters reference to the board.
Second.
There has been a motion for executive session and a duly seconded. All in favor for executive session?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'd ask that the room be emptied and that the recording be stopped and that executive session resume. Thank you. There will be a notice when we're out of executive session.